Hello friends, this is the third video I am taking out on the Delhi Gymkhana Club issue. The first two videos mostly dealt with the historical aspects, the heritage aspects, the sports aspects and the environmental aspects. Today, while the issue remains the same and the items remain the same, but they need to be seen in the light as the Government of India needs to see it. Please understand and note that the Gazette of Government of India notifying the heritage sites in Delhi, Gymkhana Club appears at serial 35 of the heritage buildings of Delhi. And as we all know, the present government fiercely looks after the heritage building, and so does the ASI. Therefore, the very first fact that the Gymkhana Club is listed on the heritage list of Delhi at serial 35 is a strong enough reason to retain it as in its present state. Historically, lots of issues have been brought up. Three things need to be once again reiterated. The first, that it must be noted that Gandhiji had many meetings with Lord Irwin in Gymkhana Club, and so did Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who interacted with the princely states to make them join the Indian Union. Interestingly, then the senior-most army officer of the Indian Army, Brigadier Karyappa, who later became a field marshal, had a farewell dinner for the Pakistani officers who were going to go and form the Pakistan Army. While this partition was taking place, a lot of things were divided in proportion to be given away by India to Pakistan, including cash. In this case, we were dining out the officers of the Pakistan Army from the Gymkhana Club. They went and created a similar Lahore Gymkhana Club in Lahore. Till the time the independence occurred, we used to be called Imperial Gymkhana. When the partition took place and the Pakistani officers went there, it became a Delhi Gymkhana and it became a Lahore Gymkhana. Just as the army's articles, weapons and equipments were transferred in proportion to the Pakistan Army, including guns, rifles, tanks, etc. Even the Delhi Gymkhana Club, a part of it was taken by the officers of the Pakistan Army to create a Lahore Gymkhana Club, a pretty much mirror image of the Delhi Gymkhana Club. What stuff they took, what details they took, what cash if any they took, details are unfortunately not available. This is an interesting fact which you mustn't forget. The next important thing which you must break this myth now. It's a long time we are carrying on with this myth. Gymkhana is a colonial legacy. What is colonial about it? The building of Delhi Gymkhana Club is identical in structure, in architecture, in the material used to build it, just as any other lieutenant's Delhi bungalows. All senior officers of the armed forces and the civil services, the senior politicians, are vying to live in this lieutenant's Delhi, in those old bungalows in Lieutenant's Delhi, which are identical in structure, in construction to the Delhi Gymkhana Club. If they are still such important residential accommodations, how can Gymkhana be a colonial? It no longer remains colonial. It was colonial when the British officers were here. How can we continue to call them colonial now? The staff then was Indian, Hindus, Muslims. And do you know something? The same staff continued, the British officers left. So the imperialism, the colonialism, all that went away with the British officers. We remained Indian officers, we remained Indian citizens, we remained Indian civil services, we are members of the club. The same staff, the same people continue to this. So therefore, how is it colonial anymore? And we must remember, in the Gymkhana Club premises, there is a mandir in which regular evening pujas are done. On various festivals, we even have havans there. Not only that, we are a secular country, we even have a mazar inside the Gymkhana Club, on which frequently chaddars are put. On Muslim festivals, certain amount of puja is done there in their Muslim customs. How can we call it colonial? The next issue that needs to be flogged and sorted out once and for all is the elitism. What is elitism? Every institution has a capacity. Hospitals have a capacity. Once they cross the capacity, they cannot take any more patients. Schools and colleges have a capacity. They can't take people more than what their vacancies are available. The clubs and all institutions have limited capacity, and therefore it is not easy for everyone to get inside it. There is a procedure to get inside. The membership is not denied to anybody in this world, but there is a procedure. There is a laid down instructions to take members in every school, in every hospital, in every institution. So where is this called elitism? Elitism is something that you cannot enter. Nobody can enter. And who are the people in Gymkhana Club today? They're ordinary, middle class, educated Indians. And most of them in senior age group. A large number retired officers from the government of India in civil services in the armed forces. I think this myth of colonialism and myth of elitism needs to be put to rest once and for all. Friends, I've spoken about sports earlier and I need to reiterate some more things today. In the context of our national policy, we are aspiring to be global leaders in all facets of life. Sports is a very important component of it. The senior-most political leader of our country supports sports. Often it has been said by them that we need best sporting facilities to make younger people come up and excel in international tournaments, bring up the image of this country, bring us medals in Olympics, bring up medals in tennis, squash. Just 2 days ago, we just made so much, and the country felt very proud of it, when Sindhu got a medal in Japan, beating a Japanese person in badminton. As far as tennis is concerned, we are the best tennis courts after Wimbledon in the world. Only a week ago, there was a press report by a lady from Wimbledon, All England Club. Why can't Delhi Gymkhana Club, why can't India produce world-class tennis players? We've had in the past. We had Ramanathan Krishnan play there. We need to nurture our young people today, groom them, the best facilities available to be able to go and win medals in Wimbledon. And not only that, the 2012 Olympic Games held in the UK, the tennis element of it was held in the All England Club in Wimbledon on the grass courts. It will be a good idea if our country, while bidding for the next Olympics, can also put in this bit of the tennis being available in Delhi Gymkhana Club, which can host the Olympics here. We have outstanding squash courts, 3 glass-back wooden courts, the best in the world. We can bring up youngsters to represent India and to do a great job. So friends, this sporting facility is helping the government in projecting ourselves as a leading country in the world. There is an interesting thing. And a club across the globe is called the IC World. IC World is a club of tennis. We are a member of that. The members of our club are members of IC. IC has periodically tournaments in various clubs across the world. They give out a program for the whole year. We hosted them earlier, once or twice. We are hosting them again this year in October, November. And what is so great about the IC? The greatest thing about the IC is this, that those clubs where this is being hosted, if they have residential accommodation, we accommodate the outside players in the club itself. We have one in our hub club, and therefore we host them in our club. Those countries which are hosting the next tournament abroad if they do not have residential accommodation in the place where the match is being held, they accommodate our players in their homes. What does it lead to? People-to-people contact, better bonhomie between people. And these are the countries which India is today having a strategic partnership. It furthers that strategic partnership in cultural, sports and personal-to-personal activities. Not only that, all embassies of Delhi who wish to play tennis are invited once in a year by the Delhi Gymkhana Club. We host all embassies, the men, the women, the children to play a carnival tennis in Gymkhana Club. It's a great event. They look forward to it, playing on the grass courts of Gymkhana. And then they in turn invite us to their embassies. Our players go there and enjoy the hospitality. What does it result in? Better friendship with that country, better person-to-person relationships, and further improving the status of our club and the status of our country. Interestingly, it must also be said that this obliquely, unknowingly contributes towards our image across the world. We must understand that there are 44 clubs in the world which are affiliated with Delhi Gymkhana Club. 14 of them are in the United States, 11 are in UK, in France, in Sweden, in Australia, in Kenya, in Kuala Lumpur, in Singapore, and all other places, 44. And do you know what? In the past 1 month, ever since the Delhi Gymkhana Club has been in the media, all these countries' leading newspapers are carrying articles on this. The Wall Street Journal of the US, the Time of London, the Dawn of Pakistan are carrying articles about the fact that the government of India has decided to take over the Delhi Gymkhana Club. What message are we sending? Is it the message that is going to attract the foreign investors into our country? I'm afraid not. India is looking for serious foreign investors in the country. And how does this happen? Investors come to India, they interact with government officials, they interact with senior political leadership, they get very impressed, but they also want to see the common people of Delhi, the common people of India, in an environment which is a middle class environment of educated people. And Gymkhana Club has been fulfilling this role unknowingly to us, unknowing to the government. So many people who come from abroad, looking at India, assessing whether the project will be a success or not, are sitting in the Delhi Gymkhana assessing people. What kind of people are existing here? Is my investment going to be worth the while? Are we not promoting the culture, the image of India to be global leaders? Indeed we are. So these are the factors that make us feel that we are unknowingly contributing towards nation building. Only today's Times of India carries the article saying these foreign investors also look at the environmental conditions. We have 500 trees in Gymkhana Club. Are we going to uproot those 100-year-old trees, some of them? Is this going to send the right message across the world that we are destroying a forest in the middle of the heart of Delhi and creating some concrete jungle there? Friends, it is my real sincere effort that those who are making these decisions, particularly in the middle-ranking bureaucracy, must see these points. In the interest of our country, we are contributing towards nation building. We are contributing towards making us the leaders in the world. For God's sake, give it a thought. I will end by just saying one thing. Yes, there are certain shortfalls. I've said it before. I'm willing to say it again. We have antiquated the bylaws. We've antiquated the Articles of Association and some customs and traditions and conventions. They need to be resolved. They need to be modernized. And they need to be created in such a way that they meet the aspirations of the people of India. I strongly recommend to the authorities that a small committee of 4 or 5 people should be formed, of very responsible and mature people. There could be 1 or 2 members from the Delhi Gymkhana Club as stakeholders. There could be 1 or 2 members from the government as so they desire, and even from the public. Why not somebody from outside the public who has nothing to do with either the government or the Gymkhana Club? Let them sit down together, work out the details and recreate the Articles of Association to suit the modern times. We cannot say that these are antiquated, therefore shut the club. We have to find a solution to this problem. And the solution to the problem can only be found if we decide that this institution needs to be preserved in its present form, but certain amendments to the Constitution, to the Articles of Association needs to be made, and a very empowered committee set under the supervision of the Government of India can find answers. I don't see any problem to which an answer cannot be found. This committee can easily find an answer to this problem. Friends, let us hope that we'll be able to retain this club and we'll be able to get it even better. Sooner than later, we'll produce some international standard of tennis players, international standard of squash players, some great personalities here. So friends, let us hope and pray that this institution continues to remain in its present position. Thank you for a very patient hearing.